Welcome to Takeover QFT!
For anyone who's not really familiar with your background and how you got involved in acting, can you tell us a bit about how you became involved in this?
I suppose the same as anyone in Northern Ireland wanting to be an actor. You know, you gotta just get involved in any way you can, in any sort of local workshops, anything going basically, and in schools as much as you can. That's how I, was able to express my sort of beginnings for it. Academically, I studied at Biffy, which I believe now is Belfast Met. Did the performing arts acting there. Then went to drama school in Glasgow, did a 3-year course there, and then got my professional debut doing theatre in London for a good year before the filming stuff started coming along with Merlin and that. So, which are now the 4th series of Merlin we've just finished. So, and yeah, and getting to do projects like this in between, that's where the love of it comes from.
Look, I've nowhere else either except me care.
Made it nice, me.
You need to be careful. What are you doing?
Causes a real break from this shite reality.
For I had lost the true path.
Well, obviously then, you've had quite a varied background in acting, and this is very different to what a lot of people would know you from. So, I mean, how did you become involved in the making of Part?
The script was sent through to my agent. I read it, loved it, and met Dara, the director, and Dominic, the producer, and went in, and they had chosen a couple of scenes. Go in, read it, they filmed me in a little camcorder, and yeah, got back to me in a couple of days, offering me the role, which was fantastic, especially with something that you love so much. Because often you read something and you love it, and you become really attached in your audition, and it goes the other way. So it's great when it comes your way and you get a chance to be involved, because then that's when the work starts. You work like mad for the audition, and then when you get the part, you go, right, now I got to start into this.
So the real work begins at that point. Then.
Absolutely.
What was it about the script that really stood out for you as something that you really wanted to become involved with?
The characters. It was these three characters. You know, as Dara has said a lot of times, essentially parked in life. They're not going anywhere, they're stuck. And there's hope in that. There's hope in these characters, that they've got a resilience. That Fred, at the start of the film, is very down and out. Cahill is down and out, but he doesn't see that. He's got this other twisted, warped view of the world where there's, maybe that's drug fueled, I don't know. But he sees something in Fred, and maybe it's the lack of a relationship with his own father that drives that. Maybe it's just the mutual loneliness of the two.
Don't ever underestimate yourself.
Now, who's this clown? I have something for you. Going over to the wild side.
When it came to kind of putting together the character of Cahill, how did you approach that?
Read loads, read a lot of stuff, read as many books as I can of like people with personal experiences of drugs themselves, parents who've went through it. The last thing I wanted to do would be for anybody who's went through a similar thing, or any families who've had kids who've gone through that, to watch that and go, that's not how it is, that's not how it works. So yeah, I was in Dublin in a drugs rehabilitation centre for a while, and got the attitude of the Dubliner, and yeah, just got a feel for it that way. And then when it starts filming, it was so well written. I just didn't have to mess up the script. That's all I had to do. You know, after you do the research, I think you should just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
What was it like then working with someone like Colin Meaney? I mean, obviously he's a very familiar face to all of us, a hugely respected actor. Was it? I mean, you've worked with a lot of different people in the past anyway, but was it daunting to work with someone like that?
Yeah, because he's this kind of Irish Titan actor, which you just I think we're used to seeing him in so many films, and when he came on board, it was exciting because I knew that I was going to be in safe hands with someone whenever I came to doing scenes with him, and we didn't get many takes. I mean, we did maybe one or two takes of most scenes, so it helped to be on the ball. And we didn't really run the lines or anything with each other before, so it was just kind of in the moment. And there's a lot of improvised stuff in that as well that we just did, you know, on set, and that made it into the film as well. So we had a really good working relationship.
So have you moved back into the area?
Yes, a small place, not far from here.
Was it difficult to get that kind of rapport with him? Like you say, a lot of the scenes where you were able to improvise with. I mean, how did you kind of get that relationship going with Colin?
I don't know. Maybe it was just a natural thing. Maybe it was just a natural dynamic and a good understanding. We both knew the script ridiculously well. So it's when it came to shoot, we both knew exactly what was happening. So it's often, I mean, the scene where we're in the car and looking out over in the Wicklow Mountains, looking out over Dublin. You know, that's kind of a long scene, and we only ever did the lines when we were shooting it. So I don't know. Sometimes you got to capture the things. Too much rehearsal can dull the blade. So I mean, you got to keep it shiny. So that's I think that's the key.
But it feels like a real friendship, and you feel like the way the film's made, it's so intimate. Do you feel like you're friends with them as well in the car?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the bit whenever I had a lot of fun whenever we were driving through the Dublin streets, and I got to be outside the sunroof screaming and shouting. We did that a lot actually, and yeah. I don't know if Colin was having as much fun as me, but you know, there is. I think you take two very different characters. Like, I mean, Cahill's very playful and very up for that, and Fred's just not. I am, you know, at the beginning, and that's where the change comes. So I mean, I think when you individually do your work as an actor, and then you both bring it to the table, that's where the spark comes, I think, because you've got two very different sort of things happening at the same time, and that's what scenes are about. Is about conflict and about, you know, that's what every scene's about in the film. So it's yeah, it was great to work with someone like him and learn. I learned a lot.
In the middle of the journey of life, I was in a dark wood. I have nowhere else to live.
This is about rules and regulations.
For I had lost the true path.
There's a real balance in the film between humour and tragedy. Was it difficult to get that balance right?
No, because I think it's a very Irish thing to find humour in tragedy. That's how people cope. Right? In the most extreme situations or the most dire situations, people need to smile, and that's kind of the thing that Cahill, I think, sort of brought, is that, you know, they're actually in a really horrible situation. You only kind of know by the end of the film what his situation really is, and maybe it's unexpected because people harbour massive secrets all the time, and the biggest secret, you know, that Cahill was keeping from Fred split them. So there's fear, and it's but that's all under the surface, and I think Irish people are really good at doing that. You know, it's going, I've got pain, but I'm holding it inside. Got to smile.
It is a very Irish film as well. I mean, one of my favourite scenes in the film is at the very start when Cahill and Fred first come together, and after that initial weariness where they're just kind of going, sure, it's great. You know, that's where do you go washing? You know, that kind of, they just settle into it. Like, this is our normal life. This is what we do.
It's like, you know, I guess if you find yourself in that situation, you got to cope. People don't ever admit to failure and down. You know, well, people do, and they don't come back. But these characters, you know, they're in that situation, and it's like, right, this is crap. But Colin Meaney, you know, Fred creates a home in his car. He adjusts the seats. He has plants. He kind of, you know, it's a shrunk down version of probably what his house was like. You know, so and it's you got to make homes, and that's a big thing about the film is the importance of home and finding a home and what does it mean to be at home, and at the end I think that's what, you know, Fred gets that place in life that he didn't have at the beginning.
It's good to be good.
The older ones have real character.
Do you not remember being young?
Oh, I'm too old for dates.
I trusted you!